was a doe just out in the wide open. I didn't see any bugs, but could be one back in the trees or something. She got into the cut. Waiting to get to that edge. Shows up or not. I think he's still in the basin. But we were here till the last light. And we're pretty much here maybe 45 minutes after the sun has come up. And I think he's still here. He's gonna be here somewhere. He's probably, they really haven't started moving until a couple hours after sun up, so the action's been a little bit later in the day, like 9 to 12 has been the hottest point, but we'll see what happens today. I don't think they're coming to water until 2-ish, 1 to 2, it's kind of been the time. Turn your right side to the camera. Why? Because I want to see the right side. Oh, is there a bird's nest? My wife loves that. She likes it when I pick up lots of stuff in my hair. Ryan has spotted some does running around and blowing, which means there's probably some young bucks chasing them, or it could be a giant. I've noticed that the does kind of blow when they're getting hounded by bucks.
noticed is these does, they blow hard at these bucks that chase them. And I think that's what we're hearing over here, which is what happened yesterday. We heard this blowing and chasing, and we couldn't put eyes on anything, but Ryan did see 2 deer running over there on this bank and disappeared in the trees. So we're still looking for our big guy. I think he'll show up. So we haven't seen this buck yet, but that's not unexpected. He could show up any minute now. Yesterday, when the thermals started to kick in the morning like this, the sun hit the mountain and the winds picked up. They blew for probably an hour or so, and once the wind settled down, that buck and his toes stood up and started moving around. So, could see something similar. It's pretty dead in here till after 10, closer to 11. Ryan and I are supposed to come up with a nickname for his buck, because it is a whitetail after all. So, we threw around some ideas this morning, but we just haven't nailed down the right name. I don't know if that's insulting, though, to a Coues deer, because we just climbed a major mountain to get here. We're in a basin probably nobody has hunted in years, if ever. And, this isn't your typical whitetail. These desert donkeys are a little different. At least that's what Ryan tells himself.
I got nothing to say.
What's your buck's name?
There is no name yet. He hasn't earned a name yet.
He's handsome.
He's handsome.
Casanova. He's slow play Jay.
I don't know. He was drug around by that lady all day yesterday.
He's whipped.
Whipped? Yeah.
You call him whipped?
No. We need to pick him up so we can watch him do something special today. But I got nothing for a name yet. I'm not used to naming stuff.
I don't know.
It just feels weird.
He about ripped down that tree yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching that, looking down in that spot. I think we got good footage of him just ripping the tar out of that tree, but just that sun is like just starting to get to where we could see those deer yesterday on that opposite side. So thinking any minute now we're gonna start seeing them. I did spot 2 does coming down this ridge. They're coming into this bowl. Found him. He's coming across that hillside right there. The far one. That's where about where he was yesterday. I don't see a doe. We see him naked eye. He's right by our tree. He's right next to our tree.
On the opposite side.
Yeah. He's 500 yards out.
It's on, folks.
Ryan spotted the buck with his doe. I was watching that doe work her way down right there from the yellow grass, just work her way down, but I never saw the buck. This buck dipped into a cut. It's just thick with trees. Can't see him now. Last saw him about 10 minutes ago. Just waiting for him to pop out. This buck is really cautious. Like he doesn't do anything fast. He tiptoes around, very careful. He doesn't go crazy chasing that doe around. He just kind of stays nearby, doesn't push her too hard. He's just really careful.
looks a lot like the buck we're after. Just doesn't quite have the same mass, but we need a better look at him, really. He looks good. He's boxy. He's not a dinker. Okay. He's a stout buck. You see any stickers? And the plot thickens.
See it left side.
Those are deep forks. No, I think your buck's bigger. Just scanning the spot.
Gosh, they just stand statued forever. Never known deer to statue up like that for so long. Just motionless. Man, our buck is only a couple hundred yards up from this pond. Last we saw him. This could get exciting if this buck comes down into the trough. It is our buck. So the buck I saw down here must not have been our buck. That's our buck. That's stickered buck.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is he a 4x3?
He's got a sticker on his left side, yeah. I couldn't see that fourth, but...
So, what's this buck?
I don't know. This is a new buck now. Wow, that's bizarre. So I wonder what buck it was I saw. I swore it looked just like him. Big ol' thing. But there's no way he could have went down and then cut up that way up there. Gosh, I think we would have seen it. Yeah, he's coming this way. Took a few steps. Maybe this buck that is bigger.
What?
Maybe this buck down here is bigger. I looked down there and I just saw rack. I was like, oh, that's gotta be our buck.
So, things got real confusing there. Ryan watched a big buck go into this cut right in front of us. But then he saw our sticker buck from yesterday up there, which he thought was the buck down here. And I don't think... I don't see how he could be up there. Like, he had to run and we would have seen it.
Like I said,
Was this buck big?
Yeah.
He's a big buck.
I didn't see a doe with this buck. I mean, he went all the way across the face. He came all the way across across that face, and there was no doe in front of him that I saw. Because when I saw him, he started up there, and he was down here with the bush.
Interesting, even with all that chasing, he didn't come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So far, I haven't seen the buck, so Ryan could just be making crap up.
Yeah. Maybe it's just my imagination. There's another big buck. Because I want it so bad.
Ryan has a lot of delusions.
There he is. You see him? That's a different buck. I'm gonna get up here so I can get a better buck.
Okay.
That's a good buck.
That's your buck. That's Ryan's buck. Sticker buck. And he is running off this other buck. That's Ryan's buck right there. I think that was a smaller 3. And then Ryan's buck came in and chased it off. That buck is a stud. That buck is sweet. That's your buck. That sticker. Yeah. Bottom? This is getting confusing.
Yeah, I'm confused. Alright, we just found the buck from yesterday. He was the buck that I saw first. Came across. He's got 3 does and a forky up there that he's razzing. And the buck up on the hill is a different buck, but he's got the exact same sticker off his left side, which confused me. But he's still up there. And our big buck from yesterday is on this yellow knob.
550.
550. He's a tank, man. the odds of 2 bucks with the same exact genetic kicker off its left side.
It's his
Offspring.
son.
Just hanging up there. You still see him? Yeah. I don't know, Brian. I think we might want to close the play and see if we can't at least give it a shot. If we don't, we come back down.
Back.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it.
How quickly can you get packed up?
I'm gonna have to abandon some stuff.
Yeah, I'm leaving spotter and all that here. I'm just gonna carry my gun, carry my... See those does get on their haunches and just box a little bit. Alright, let's see if we can't make this happen. If we see him move back down here, we'll move back down here. Try to shave a couple 100 yards off the shot. Joe was the last I saw him. I wonder if we can get down here. 516. So instead of screwing this up, we're gonna park it. We got a little flat rock right here we can get prone. And Brian and I are gonna project that they come this way. And they're gonna come down that hillside. And we'll have a good poke at them right there.
Alright, let's do this.
Yeah, let's get set up.
Go up. happened fast. Real fast. Jumped a mile in the air. Dude, it looks like you went right through the middle of him.
Shot felt good. I think he's down right there.
That was nice and close.
Dude, he came down that, so we saw the one doe break free from the other two. She came down into the cut and came straight at us. And so I got all sighted in case he was following her, and sure enough, a couple minutes later he dumped down in there and he came across right through the same yellow meadow. But it looked like he was gonna cut into the trees, so I was settled on him. I got a good shot, but I wasn't gonna wait.
That was fast.
He went full broadside. Looked like a stud, man. Like a stud.
Yeah. Look at this. This is like the perfect little bench to shoot off of.
I've been wanting a prone spotted for a while.
It's perfect. And we hustled over, and they were still 550, which wasn't the shot we wanted. And I was like, but let's set up anyway. You're like, hey, if they come another 200 yards closer, bingo. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did. Like, we barely got set up.
We project that would happen.
We projected that would happen.
And it happened.
Is it projecting? It's
delusion.
Delusion. You manifested it.
I did manifest.
You manifested it.
That's a better word.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Holy smokes, what time is it? I mean, it's like, this is their time of day when they just moving. It's 10 to 12. Every day, this has kind of been the money time where they're just moving around, feeding on their feet, out in the openings. And we got our shot.
Good news is he had to go and smell and lick the ground she walked on before he followed her. He's got to soak all her glory. I saw him like go left, go right a little bit, and you got on him, and I'm like, I was gonna switch to slow motion, but I'm like, in the time I do that, Ryan might shoot, and then boom, you shot. Like, I was like, this
was not a time to be patient. This was
for
a time to take your shot.
For a man who takes forever to take a shot, then there are times when you're just like, ready, aim, go.
This is it. This is my one shot. I mean, this buck has been all over this mountain.
Yeah, he's been.
This is the first time I've had him inside of 400.
Yeah.
So.
I love it. All our stuff.
I didn't see him come out, man. He's got to be done right in that timber.
We've
jumped up.
Oh, yeah.
Just probably piled up right there. Just wanted to zip up here and get a nice prone perch to shoot off of.
What a load off. It's done. Like, happened.
Oh.
He's a stud. What's crazy is that his little twin is up there.
There's another
That's
buck
a stud.
on the hill with the sticker exactly like his, same side. It looked about as long, maybe not quite, but that's what fooled me when I saw him. Because when you and I looked up there the first time, and we both got eyes on him, we both thought, he's not quite as big. He doesn't look quite as big.
Yeah, he didn't have the heavy horns, and he wasn't quite as wide.
But then he moved, and I saw him, and I saw that sticker over there, and I was like, gosh dang.
That's our buck.
That's our buck.
When you said that, I'm like, he shrunk.
There's no way.
He shrunk a little.
There's 2 bucks in here with the same kicker off the back, left. But there was. He's up there. He's up there statued just because this big old pig is down here taking up all the does. So I wasn't crazy when I saw my buck go down there first. and then saw the other buck up there. Starting to question myself.
Yeah, I was starting to be like, did he really see the buck? And you said this was a big one. And then when you said that was our buck up there, I'm like, I gotta see this other deer. And then I saw him chase off that other buck, and you're like, oh, that's our deer. And then you could see the other one up there at the same time, so you knew that these are two different bucks with just like twin antlers.
He was rutting, scraping. He kicked out this forky. You see those does rear back and
punch each other.
A few times, fighting over his studliness. They wanted to be bred by this old buck.
I saw him like rock his way in after that other buck and be like, get the hell out of here. And the other buck took off. Ryan's like, as we were grabbing our stuff, getting ready to leave, he goes, I'm a lot more excited to shoot that buck now that I saw him in all his glory.
In the sunshine. He wasn't shaded up like yesterday.
Yeah.
He looked good. He looked real good. What's that? That left side is impressive because it's got 4 points. Definitely a kicker, and I think he's double-browed.
Yeah.
If that's the case, that's pretty cool.
He's a little trollish.
He's got some troll to him for sure. I think a whitetail actually got me shaking a little bit.
This will be your biggest Coues to date. This was a really cool mountain hunt. Like, we put in the miles, we found a basin that nobody's going to.
No, we took a few days to kind of dial it in, figure out where the deer weren't. And there's a lot of places the deer aren't up here, for sure. This is pretty low populated Coues deer. Much lower than what we've been accustomed to the last few years. There's just pockets, and you kind of have to look over a lot of country to find those pockets. So we knew, once we found this one, figure there's probably 9-10 deer in this basin that we know of, does and bucks. We knew this is probably a spot to stick and figure it out. Oh, all right, let's go get our stuff, waddle down there, and see what we got.
Standing in when Ryan shot him. He's standing right there. He came off this yellow bench right there. Came off, hit this flat, and Ryan took him right here. And I saw him go right down this gut.
What a pig. How does that happen?
Dude, that's wild. That's a big shed too. That is cool. Check that out.
It's all bladed.
Holy moly.
Look at those guards. There's this kicker. Sticker. Oh, heavy buck. Man, look how close they come to.
I know, I noticed that. Almost in all the way. Deep forks.
Contemplated.
Look at that left side.
Oh. Man, he's heavy, huh?
He didn't go anywhere. Where'd you
hit him? I don't know. Had to be right in the pump. Yeah, be right there.
Nice.
Man, that's pretty good Coues, huh?
Dude, look at the mass. Look at the mass.
Oh, I love the bladed. cool. Yeah, he's heavy down with bases. He's got to be an old buck.
You found one, Ryan.
Found one. Finally. Bladed and heavy. With some trash. That was exactly what we were going for. That's cool, man. Yeah, that's my best Coues for sure. He's different. So one thing I've noticed is since we've been starting to hunt these Coues year after year, these things kick out gnarly racks. A lot of them had these bladed tines and kickers and lumps and heavy, just kind of knuckled out. I don't know, you don't see that as much in mule deer or kind of your classic whitetail either. But for whatever reason, these things just throw some character. And man, I think that's why I dig these things. We've seen some bucks that just gnarled out. They knuckle out here, they kind of moose paddle. Super unique racks. I love it. And this character, the stickers and bumps. Seems like most the Coues deer that I've taken have had that. They've got at least one sticker lumped out down here. Something unique about them. It's weird. Coues are interesting. We're still not the best judge of what a big deer is. You know, we found this buck. First time we found him, he was about 390 yards out. We looked at him for 15-20 minutes. And I was slow to decide, you know. You get one chance at kind of what you're going for, and I didn't want to screw it up. So just wanted an old, mature, heavy buck. And yeah, we let him go that night. And we watched him, had all kinds of other opportunities, but he's just cat and mousing us through this stuff. They are hard to keep still, and they always seem to statue up behind a tree. So they can be really a big challenge to try to get a shot on, even with a rifle. But we knew we were just going to keep coming back to the space until he gave us a shot. And finally today he did. We played our cards right. Got that nice tight shot that we were wanting. I mean, we could have airmailed some bullets out there and sent them, you know, 400, 500, 600 yards if we wanted. But you know, our goal is always inside of that 400 for sure. More 300 range for us. So we finally played our cards right and got him to inside that range and put one bullet. He didn't hardly go, but I don't know, not even 50 yards. And it was just a perfect shot. Went down fast. So I feel like we did everything we set off to do once we came down here. We wanted mature bucks, heavy bucks, kind of learn Coues a little bit better. And yeah, Brian and I both we're going to walk away from this trip with a couple of just stud Coues bucks. So hopefully Brad and Hunter find the buck they're after. They got a buck picked out too. He's a stud. But getting down on days, we don't have much time left, so they've got a day or two left to make it happen. So fingers crossed they get it done today. But Brian and I, we did our part. We got our bucks.
Yes, we did. It's just the coolest, man. This basin, you can see all this rim rock up here.
It's like a mountain mule deer hunt.
It is. You got this sort of mesquite thing going on. You got this other side that has all this mountain rim rock going on up here. And then it's got this little saddle dip right here where these deer go back and forth. And then you got all this yellow grass mixed in, and you got a water hole down at the bottom. I mean, it's picture perfect, man. Sure enough, pick it out on a map and then hike to it, and you find a big buck.
It's worth it. We went the long way in here yesterday, and then today we shortened it up, but it was a heck of a lot steeper, so we sweated our way up this morning.
Yeah, we were moving up that hill this morning. It was good exercise, a good grind. We wanted to get up here just in case, you know. I think, what time did you shoot him?
It's about, I think 11.
11. I think we saw him. Didn't we see him yesterday at 11 for the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just getting active.
Yep.
10 maybe? You started seeing some movement. But the morning is dead. But not always.
No.
There's a couple critical.
Evenings are dead.
Evenings are dead.
We don't see anything in the evenings.
About 2 hours before dark, it starts. You might as well mail it in.
Yeah.
We stayed out till dark, but never paid off.
It hasn't paid off once. Not one night.
That's
a little tiny hole right there.
Right behind the shoulder, huh? Well, Ryan, I don't know if that was a good shot placement.
Those guys like that neck hole. Okay, now figure out how to best way to put these onto a pack. Right there.
Put your stealthy pad.
Yeah, good. That's a good idea, actually. Look, so many uses.
So many uses.
So many.
Yeah. That's how I pack my gimbal.
Yeah. This is what I use for my bow. So keeps everything protected. Oh, that looks good.
Oh, it's professional.
I'll do. Just gotta get my rifle on there.
Wild. Well, there's such. This Coues is such a cool rat.
Yeah. First look. Get this buck back, and this is what we're going to be eating for dinner tonight. I think we'll do up the heart and some tenders and maybe a little backstrap.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
You see the back of that pack.
Do it.
You had to add more antlers to it, didn't you?
Our Coues are little. Hoping to find a few more deadheads on the way down.
Took my first breath where the muddy rises spills into the Gulf of Mexico. The skyline's colored by chemical plants that put bread on the table of the working man, where the working man does his best to provide safety and shelter for kids and a wife, giving a little of his soul every day, making overtime keep the wolves away.
Man, we just had the best view of all this.
Up in that rim rock. folks. Some men can, and some men can't. Do you want to win a Peaks teepee, the new Solitude, Peaks trekking poles, Peaks headlamp, Peaks gaiters, Initial Ascent backpack, a Stealthy Hunter rifle cover, pad, and medical kit, a pair of sheep feet orthotics, an all-in Digiscope adapter, a Dark Energy battery pack, a $250 gift card for Mountain Ops, a $500 gift card for the GOHUNT gear shop, and a lifetime membership at GOHUNT. If you want to be entered to win this ultimate equipment giveaway, all you got to do is buy a t-shirt over at Peaks. And it's not just any t-shirt. This is the Some Men Can, Some Men Can't t-shirt. And there's a little story behind this. In 2019, I was hunting in New Zealand with Ryan Lampers. It was one of the first hunts we ever did together. And we were in New Zealand's Southern Alps. It's probably one of the most rugged hunts we've been on. The mountains were intimidating, somewhat, quite dangerous. We got ourselves into a couple of pickles here and there. It was intense. And with us on this trip was a good friend of ours, Luke Dusenberry. And he was the cameraman for us on this trip. And he wasn't quite experienced with these rugged mountains we were climbing. In fact, he was pretty intimidated by the whole trip in general. And we finally found a bull tar at the tippy top of a mountain. And I've told this story on a couple podcasts in the past. We're loading up the packs, we're getting ready to go, and Luke turns to me, and he's like, Brian, I don't think I can do that. I can't do that. And I turned to look at him, and I said, well, Luke, some men can, and some men can't. And Brian and I just started climbing, and just left him standing there.
Make a decision.
I mean, he got the message.
Yeah.
We climbed up there. I confessed to Ryan, this is a lot worse than I thought. And I was like, I feel kind of bad.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually glad Luke didn't
It would have been
climb this. I don't know if he could do it. I kind of felt a little bad, right? Because I pushed a little hard. Just when we're about to kill this tar, I hear somebody behind me. And I turn around, and the dude did the climb.
Really?
He did the climb.
That's
and he's
rad.
like, my respect for him went from like
Of course.
here to like just through the roof. I wouldn't have believed he could do it. And yet he did it, and he got there, and he's like, I just kept sitting there thinking, some men can, some men can't.
Just
and I was
him.
like, I had to do it. And hence, the Some Men Can and Some Men Can't t-shirt has been born. Bryce over at Peaks, he saw this clip. He listened to this podcast. He was inspired by it. We had a lot of people in the comments section say, hey, I need a shirt like that. I need a shirt that says Some Men Can, Some Men Can't. So Bryce scrambled. We all scrambled. We put it together, and now we have a limited edition for these 2 weeks only. We have this shirt available. If you shop over at Peaks and you buy the shirt, use the code GRITTY. You're going to get a discount, and it'll help us continue to do what we do. It's a cool shirt. It's a cool project. You're entered to win the ultimate prize package, and it's a limited time for this T-shirt. We're only running it for this 2 weeks. You got to buy it now if you want it, and then it's gone. You have between now and April 9th at midnight to do it, and you'll be entered to win that prize package. We'll pick the winner April 10th, 11th, or 12th, or 13th, somewhere a few days following the closure of the giveaway on April 9th. And also, if you're in the market for a new backpack, now might be the time for you to buy one, because we have a big giveaway that we're doing with Initial Ascent. You can win a big prize package over there as well between now and April 9th at midnight. If you shop over there, every $25 you spend gets you entered to win the following: a Leupold spotter, tripod, an Initial Ascent backpack, of course, an all-in Digiscope adapter, a $500 gift card to the GOHUNT gear shop, a lifetime insider membership, a skull hanger from Iron Mountain Skull Hangers. You got goat knives and Grakksaw game bags all in this package. All you got to do is shop over at Initial Ascent between now and April 9th at midnight, and you will be entered to win this prize package. When you use the code GRITTY, you'll get a discount, so you win that way as well. And if you're on the fence on whether you think an Initial Ascent backpack is right for you, we just did a podcast with Dennis and Joe, the owners of Initial Ascent, last week. We just published that show. It's episode 776. So check that out on the Gritty podcast. See if it's something you're interested in. So check that out. Now's your time to buy. You can be entered to win. You get a discount, and it's an excellent pack. I can't recommend it enough. You got 2 weeks. Okay, last week, if you left a comment on the video, the torturous video of watching Ryan take forever to shoot a giant buck.
Everybody's like, I wish I was so patient. Like, I'm not near as patient as Ryan. I'm working on that.
If that happened, you were entered to win. If you left a comment, you were entered to win Stealthy Hunter rifle cover. So Brad is scrolling through that, and he's going to pick a winner. This week, if you leave a comment below, we really want to drive a lot of engagement, get a lot of comments on this final video, try to get as many eyeballs on it as possible. And it really helps us with the YouTube algorithms when you leave a comment. So we're throwing out a big incentive this time. You can be entered to win a glassing pad from Stealthy. You get a rifle cover from Stealthy. You get a pair of Peaks gaiters and trekking poles and a headlamp. That whole thing goes to one of you lucky people if you leave a comment on this video, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And Brad, who is our winner from last week?
They are Rick Miller. Dang, that's Jedi level patience. I know you said you're not pushy to have someone take the shot, but I know there has to be hilarious banter between you guys. I want to see that footage. Thank you, Rick.
No doubt there is. We're going to talk a little bit about this hunt here in just a minute. For those of you that are interested in doing a hunt like this, I highly recommend that you listen to our most recent podcast episodes, number 774 and 775. Episode 774 is with Ryan Lampers, myself, Brad Hunt, and Hunter McWaters in Mexico on site. You don't want to miss that. Check that out. And also 775, that was one that Ryan Lampers and I just recorded with Jay Scott. It's a post-hunt recap. We kind of talked to Jay about the hunt. And both of those shows are an excellent resource for you if you're interested in doing a hunt like this. And if you want to see more behind-the-scenes video, the type of banter that got cut from the films or isn't included, or that just shows the place we're staying, some of our road trip kind of stuff, then become a supporter over at the Gritty Stealthy community. You just go to gritty.locals.com, sign up. It's $7 a month. If you sign up just for 1 month and check it out, it's $7 a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Check it out. See what you think. Brad has just put a 25-minute video up over there that has a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff from this hunt. It's pretty funny. I think you'll enjoy it. Yep. It's another view into how the hunt went down and what it's like, a little deeper dive into that. And if you become a member over there, a supporter, well, we do live streams every Monday night.
Yep.
It's usually Brad and I. Every third or fourth stream is Ryan Lampers. So go join over there if you're interested in that. If not, we'll continue dropping free content right here on YouTube for you. Now that we have got these giveaways out of the way, let's talk about this hunt and how it went down. I think that something that was wild that we did not expect, and you guys tell me, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear to you that buck on that hill is a twin. It is a twin.
We have talked about it with us, with Ryan, with Jay Scott, with Jim Heffelfinger from Arizona, and we're like, that has to be a twin.
I mean, the antler formation looks identical. Between the foreside, the fat bladed tine, the eye guard on the right. He's a 3x4 with the same sticker. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, I have zoomed in. I have put them side by side. I have tried to see the difference. And the only thing that I can really pick out maybe is one has a little thinner horn than the other. But even then,
it's hard to say because that buck's just a little further away.
Not a little. He's
400
you're talking
yards.
400 yards to 800 yards in distance. So it's the farther away like that, standing in the sun, a lot of times mass is hard to see, especially on a Coues deer. All I know is, I mean, they are identical.
They look identical.
They're like twins. So I don't know if one's a younger version of the same, but even then, what are the odds that they look exactly the same?
Yeah. I mean, in my mind, they have to be twins. Like, they have to be.
I looked that up. I couldn't
twins.
find. Maybe some deer biologist out there can break it down for us. But the way I kind of understood it is you can't have identical twins in deer. Like, they don't. You can have like paternal. Is it called paternal or fraternal? Paternal, where they're both. You have two born at the same time, but they're not identical in any way.
And it's like maybe that theory is busted. I don't know,
dude. It was wild because the whole time we're after Ryan's buck, that other buck is just standing up above looking, and both bucks look studly.
Yeah.
And
it had you fooled too, because Ryan's like, "Dang it! I thought that was the buck down here. Now there he is up there." And how
Well,
did he
at
get from here
first,
to there?
we were convinced he must have just
Zipped
teleported up there
yeah.
or something.
Right.
And we missed it. But then when we saw the other buck down low and that one's still there, we saw them both on their hoof at the same time, which kind of ruled out that they were the same deer just moving around a lot. It wasn't. It was a totally different buck.
Yep.
I don't even know how to make sense of it. It's wild. This is why hunting blows my mind. You discover things, especially with film.
Right.
You can go back and look at things. Because for a long time, we couldn't even tell it was a 4x3. Brian's like, yeah, it has stickers. I don't know if it had a 4 or not. Right. But you get home and you look at it. The thing is,
they are identical.
It's a twin. So, so that was pretty wild. The other thing I wanted to touch on this hunt that was another takeaway for me was, again, the patience thing.
Yeah.
You know, we waited a long time. Ryan waited the whole first day to be patient to get the shot he wanted close up. Came back, and we were able to relocate this deer just like we were able to relocate my deer.
Yeah.
And as long as we didn't make any stupid choices or make any big mistakes, he's there for the taking. We're confident we can relocate him over and over until we get that scenario that's where you're undeniable.
Yeah.
You know, where that shot is kind of unmissable. And sure enough, you know, we it's a balance though, because we're set up on this rimrock cliff over here, and I think we moved about 400 or 500 yards up the rimrock to get within 300 yards.
To get closer to the buck, yet still be far enough away that you're not jeopardizing getting the buck.
There's very little risk in moving up the rimrock to get into position to shoot that deer.
Yep.
And Ryan even says it as we're getting ready to leave. Hey, if it turns out that the deer moves down to the water hole, then we'll just move right back to the spot we were in.
Yep.
We felt pretty confident that we could run that ridge back and forth without any cost. Like, okay, so we got down there and he moves the other direction. And so now we have to move back up the ridge. Running the ridge was a great way to be aggressive, but not overly aggressive so that we lost ground or we blew him out.
Yep.
And we did the same thing with my buck.
Yeah,
we were sitting there and I think a lot of hunters might have just sat there and waited for the buck to come closer.
I think two scenarios. One, they sit there, they wait for the buck to come closer. He comes out at a further distance. They take the chance and they shoot a longer range.
Yeah.
I think scenario number two is they're like, oh, we need to get closer, and they do it in a non-planned out, thought out way, and it jeopardizes the hunt. They move in too fast, they get too low, something. The deer wins them, they blow it.
Yeah.
You know, I think those are the two scenarios that mostly happen.
And I've been on so many hunts. We're aggressive. We're a lot more aggressive than you might think.
Yeah.
Given the patience, but we strike in ways that are really aggressive, but aren't that won't push us to the point of failure. The possibility of failure isn't really there. It won't necessarily pan out.
And what it usually comes down to is like, this is the moment we need to get from point A to point B. We need to do it undetected. We need to do it fast. And so that's like some of those moments you see in some of the old films of just running from point A to point B, but we're not jeopardizing the stop.
And we always think this: if there's nothing to be lost, then why not? It's like when I quit my job and started doing gritty full time. I knew I could just, if it didn't work, I could just go back to my old job. Like the door was open, it was waiting for me. Right back to the old career I had.
Yep.
So what's the risk? I mean, at the end of the day, what's the big risk?
Yeah.
You are risking some minor risk, but you could always fall back if you want to. You can always go right back to where you were.
Yeah.
And that's what this was. We could always go right back to our other sniper nest if this new position doesn't work. Yep. And as it turned out, it worked. And one thing with Ryan that I'm just more urgent in my shot in general. I don't have the patience.
Yeah.
I'm a little more aggressive. So I get that gun out, ready, stacked, and ready to go just in case, much more quickly than Ryan does. And when that animal comes out, the first available opportunity, once I've decided I'm shooting it, I shoot. I'm pretty quick.
Yeah.
Ryan is uncanny the way he deliberately moves slow, almost sabotaging opportunities to the point where they do get away. But it keeps him calm. And he always is like, my activities leading up to the shot are activities meant to calm my nerves
Yeah.
when I actually take the shot. So it's a process for him from.
Yeah, if you think you're in a pressured situation and you're moving pressured, then you're going to be pressured when it comes down to the moment, I feel.
So he will set up and he'll get into position quick. Once, though, Ryan has decided that he's going to kill, I mean, it's fast.
Get the camera ready.
Because he'll go from 0 to 60 like that. And
Yes.
I think most killers do that. Like, well, we'll go slow.
Well,
go
and I will say, I
carrot
think it
calm,
depends
and then
on. I think it depends on the animal too. Like these Coues are nonstop moving.
True.
They are always. They're just not. When they're on their feet, they are moving. And
under 200 or under 300 yards, something like that is where this buck is. Ryan's rock steady. It's a prone position on a like you couldn't ask for a better setup. No. The buck walks right out, and he's only stopping for a moment. Yeah. He's just sniffing where that doe was. So Ryan knew he only had but he only had like a little bit of time before that buck came right at us, following that doe and disappeared, and then he'd be, I don't know where he'd be.
Yeah,
right. And he strikes fast when that moment comes. I think we all do. You and I both do. But that's there's this balance that I think experienced and skilled hunters have, where they're very, very patient until it's time to be fast.
It needs to happen, yeah. And Ryan is very uncanny when it comes to that. Like he knows.
Well, it's such a stark contrast between the methodical, careful to the, wow, that was a lot. I wasn't ready for that, Ryan. I barely got the power button turned on, It's just a contrast where the rest of us kind of are urgent leading up to it. He's so calm. And then when he gets intense, it's a little surprising.
Yeah.
It's a little jarring. Yeah. So I think what we've been trying to demonstrate through this whole video series is patience and waiting for the right shot. We're both capable of taking much longer range shots. We found that over the years, we are very good at taking animals. Very few things go wrong when you're in that 300-yard range.
Yeah.
350. Well, very, very, very few things go wrong between that range and 50 yards, Yeah. And so we have just found that if we can just be a little patient, we will get that shot. And we're not big fans of the sort of break them down, shoot them in the shoulder or in the leg, and they just get a bullet up there. That doesn't really. So many. First of all, it causes undue suffering to the animal, and I think a little more patience, and you get that shot you want with that guaranteed, like undeniable outcome.
Yeah,
and that's really what we're looking for. And I think if you're more patient on the front end, you have better success on the back end. Instead of settling for that 700-yard shot and being impatient on the front end, and taking that opportunity, wait for that a day or so for that 250-yard opportunity and make it unfailable, like undeniable. So,
well, and I think another point to touch on is just the confidence, and we've said it in the previous films too, but the confidence of relocating the bucks, because again, different situations. We're not in a migratory area. These bucks are in their home territory all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like the confidence being able to go in there, find that buck again.
Being objective, I think, as I can be, I would argue that 8 out of 10 times the patience game results in success.
Yeah.
And 2 out of 10 times it cost us an opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing is, I think as an experienced hunter, learning the moments you need to go strike and the moments you need to sit back. And I'm still trying to get much better at that, Yep. Like, I think everybody is, even Ryan. There's times he's like, yeah, bit me in the butt. But again, 8 times out of 10, it didn't. It worked out.
This last bear series we did with Pedro Ampuero and Brady Miller, Lampers, on that trip, there were many opportunities to shoot prematurely. I could have shot the bear, the big giant red bear I shot. I could have shot him in the shoulder. I could have shot him when he was propped up. There were all these shots, and instead I kept waiting and waiting and waiting for that bear to give me that shot in the middle, in the soft spot. And by waiting and till he truly gave me a good, clean moment, I didn't risk. Maybe the other shot could have worked, but I didn't need to take it. I could wait for that other shot. Now, the same thing with when it came down to Brady, we were very patient on that bear he was after. Almost to the point where Brady's pretty proficient at 550, 600 yards. He shoots a lot. He's really big into that.
Does his own reloads, everything.
Maybe for him, he should have taken that particular shot.
Right.
But when in Rome, do as the Romans do. He was following our suit, and he was trying to get that 350 shot.
Yep.
And turns out that ended up costing us the animal.
Bear went bye-bye.
Very rarely does that happen, but that bear ended up going over the top of a mountain and disappearing in a blizzard, and we never saw him again. And it's very, very likely that Brady would have dropped him at 600 yards.
Yeah. Yep.
Given his setup, the behemoth gun he's running, his experience
the
and
confidence
knowledge.
he has in that rifle, everything.
You know, had it just been Ryan and I, we might have tried to cross the river and boot scooted up there that same day. We're pretty aggressive like that, but maybe we would have waited too. It's hard to say. Right. But the point is, sometimes it does cost you. But more often than not, the opposite is true. 8 out of 10, it ends up in a successful result, and that's what we're going for. There's always a pro and con to every strategy. We just think that more often than not, the patience game earns you a better result.
And I'll say we're fortunate
than the long range game.
We're fortunate because we have the days that we can be more patient, I think, than the average person. But
for sure. So, folks, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting our show. Next week, we're dropping bear films, and it's going to be bear films for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I hope you enjoy them. They're going to be cool. You don't want to miss them. And don't forget about our giveaways right now. You got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to go shop at Peaks and get the Some Men Can and Some Men Can't shirt and be entered to win the ultimate equipment package, as well as shopping over at Initial Ascent. Every $25 gets you entered to win the Initial Ascent gear package as well. And if you leave a comment on this video right now, tell us what you think. We're going to pick a winner next week to win a pair of trekking poles, headlamps, gaiters, rifle cover, and glassing pad. The whole package to some lucky person for leaving a comment. And that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. Stay gritty.